All right, in this video, we're going to look at clarity, which is this option here in the Essential Sounds panel. And in my opinion, the easiest way to make average audio a lot better. Rather than just raising the volume of it or lowering it down, we can adjust different parts of the volume, which is really interesting. And I want to show you that clarity actually is this effect called dynamics processing. And we'll dig into this a tiny bit. All right, let's jump in and make ourselves more clarity or more dynamic. Dad jokes. All right, let's get into it. All right, first thing is let's grab sound 01 hyphen mono. Let's make a sequence from that. And what we'll do is we're going to build something. Is it weird? Premiere Pro is kind of strange the way it organizes. It's by frame rate now. I didn't choose frame rate. Let's go name. So it's at least 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's rename the sequence and let's call this one dialogue. This is me talking. So I need 01 in there. Let's grab this 02 as well and put it in. Okay, and we're going to work on this wave file. Just a little heads up. I kind of mentioned it before. A wave file here is the better file to be using. It's a lot bigger than an MP3, but it's not as stripped back and compressed. And you'll find, if you have the option, okay, record in wave files, or at least if you're downloading them from, say, stock places, often there's an MP3 and a WAV version. The WAV versions are bigger, but have more information in there that we can use to kind of fix, or in our case, we're going to clarify. We're going to work on this track first. Let's have a little listen. All right, so this is where we end up at the end of this video today. So this is what I do mostly to make audio sound better, especially dialogue. That's what I do a lot of. Okay, with it selected, we'll make it dialogue. First things first, make the loudness auto match. Okay, just make sure it's in the right decibel range for dialogue. Okay, then we turn on clarity. So there's all these ones, I've toggled them all closed. Okay, so let's go to clarity. Let's turn on dynamics. Okay, and you can see here it's added the dynamics processing. This is where a lot of the work, at least I do, gets done. Okay, and you can drag it up and down. Okay, I'm going to set an in point and an out point just so that it loops. All right, so this, if yours is not looping, just make sure you've got your, it's a little hard to see all these buttons, right? It's a bit crammed in here on my one, so you got to make sure you're on loop playback. Okay, so this is where we get to the end. All right, so this is where. Okay, so let's have a little look. I just want to show you. Yeah, this is the one I'm going to dig into mostly, just for a couple of reasons. First one, let's have a little look. So this slider here, you see, is actually connected to this graph. So Premiere Pro has actually said, this is really important. Let's make a nice little slider, and in the background, we'll adjust this for them. And the reason I show you in here is that there's a whole bunch of other presets. Look at that. So you can apply the dynamics processing effect straight from the effects panel and drag it on, and then go through and pick one of these ones. They've got some amazing names. There is maximum pumping. There's rap resonance, smooth vocal. We're gonna leave ours on the default, okay? Because somebody has gone through and decided that this is what works for voice. And I know it does because it's the graph that I like to draw. So I'm gonna hit reset and just kind of show you, I guess, just a little recap of this one because I do like it so much and use it so much. Basically down the bottom here is how loud something is in your clip. Okay, up here at 0, it's maximum loud, as loud as it can get before it clips. And all the way in here are all the different volume levels. Okay, -10, -20. Okay, and my voice that you're hearing right now occupy mainly this middle part. And what sounds good is if you grab some of these noises that I'm making that are coming out of my face, okay, that are lower in volume, okay, and if you raise them up a little bit, so some of this stuff here in the kind of -40, 30, 20, if you raise it up a little bit, it makes it feel fuller, okay? And if you grab some of this, let's do it. So let's grab this little dot here, okay, and move it down to kind of around the -30. So all the things that are about -30, if you raise them up to now be about -20, you've raised them up, you've expanded them up a little bit, okay? Not touching the really loud stuff, that can stay there, okay? Basically it's being compressed, okay? But you want the middle stuff to be lifted up. And the stuff in the background, the noise that's, I don't know, really low in my voice, and mainly it's kind of background junk, okay, that the microphone's picked up. So all of this really quiet stuff, I want it to be even quieter. -70, if you're at -70, you're going to be even lower. You're going to be now down at -85. And you'll find something, do you recognize this curve? Happens a lot, right? And from our curves from when we're doing our hue and saturation, or our color grading part, okay, and this ends up being a really nice kind of graph that suits voice, makes bits fuller. Hit spacebar. We end up at the end of this video today. All right, so this is where we now what you can do is turn it on and off while you're playing. Okay, see this little bypass? They call it bypass. It's on and off. Okay.
End up at the end of this video today. All right, so this is where we end up at the end of this video today. All right, so this is where we end up at the end of this video.
The difference here, you know, from what we've done before in like the Essentials courses, we just raised everything up, right? We said, okay, make everything a bit louder. So the bad stuff got louder as well as the good stuff. And in this bit here, if we make parts of the dialogue, okay, louder, keep some of it the same, make other parts lower, it's kind of changing the volume of different parts within the clip rather than just everything up, everything down. And I wanted to show you all the different presets, okay, that you can kind of jump into, not just this slider here. And it's also really interesting when you kind of see that these sliders are doing something on the back end. It's a little bit more complex than my slider, but hey, I think it sounds good how I had it
today. All right, so this is where we end up at.
Let's look at making terrible audio good. You can never make it great, but you can make it good.